First write down, I'll explain, right? Okay. Trigonometric ratio. Trigonometric ratios of 0 degree and 90 degree. Okay. We will try to find the trigonometric ratios of 0 degree and the 90 degree. So first we'll consider the triangle. In triangle ABC, angle B we will consider as 90 degree. Okay. Now we will try to take angle A. We will try to make it 0. So what will happen if we try to make it 0? Write down this. I'll explain this. Okay. Now if it reduces to this. So we will try to make angle A equal to 0. Okay. Angle A equal to 0. So what happens now? Sine 0. So anything sine of some angle will be equal to opposite side by hypotenuse. So opposite side is the BC. It will tend to become 0. Right? So it will be equal to 0. Then when you consider cos 0, just write down, I'll explain. So what is cos 0? It is the adjacent side by the hypotenuse. Adjacent side by the hypotenuse. Okay. So adjacent side is AB and the hypotenuse will be AC. So we will get it as 1. Okay. How we will get this? First, we are trying to make the angle A 0. Okay. Actually, if you make angle A 0, there will be no triangle. It will become a straight line. See here, I'm trying to reduce this angle A. Some angle is there, I'm trying to reduce. So if I reduce, this will be the triangle, right? So if I keep on reducing, actually it will become a straight line. There will be, so we will tell that it tends to 0. We are trying to make it 0. Okay, it tends to 0. Actually, it is not 0, it is tending to 0. That's how we try to relate. Okay, that is, we are trying to find the value just above the 0, like that. Okay, so if you reduce angle A, what happens? The side here BC keeps on reducing, correct? When you reduce this angle A, this BC side will keep on reducing. And when it becomes 0, BC will become 0 there. When angle A tends to 0, BC value, see here it will become 0. So what is sine of any angle? That is equal to opposite side by hypotenuse. So for this angle A, this is the BC is the opposite side and AC is the hypotenuse. So if BC tends to 0, okay, so the numerator will be 0, sine 0 will be equal to 0. Okay, what about cos 0? What is cos? Adjacent side by hypotenuse. Adjacent side by hypotenuse. Okay. So this is an adjacent side. When the angle A tends to 0, what happens? This hypotenuse will be equal to AB. Correct? See, this keeps on reducing. What happens? This AC line will coincide with AB line. So when it tends to 0, what happens? AC will be equal to AB. So if AC and AB are equal, then that is equal to 1. That is why cos 0 is equal to 1. Okay, cos 0 is equal to 1. These actually things they will not ask to prove, but if you understand, then the problems it will be easier to do. Okay, so sine 0 will be 0, cos 0 will be equal to 1. What about the tan? Tan 0. Tan is equal. Tan theta is what? Sine theta divided by cos theta. Correct? Tan theta is what? Sine by cos. So tan theta is equal to sine by cos. What is sine 0? So tan 0 will be equal to sine 0 by cos 0. So sine 0 is 0, cos 0 is 1. 0 by 1 is what? 0. So tan 0 degree will be equal to 0. Okay. So tan 0 will be equal to 0. Understood now? So sine 0 is 0, cos 0 is 1, and tan 0 will be equal to 0. Then what will be the cosecant value? Cosecant of 0? It is not defined. Cosecant of 0. Cosecant is what? It is 1 by sine. Okay. So here if sine 0 is 0, 1 by 0 is infinity. It is actually not defined. Okay. So cosecant 0, it is not defined. Okay. Cosecant 0 is not defined. Write down this. And everyone understood this much. So what we are trying to do is, I'm taking one angle A, we are trying to reduce to 0. When I'm reducing, this side, the opposite side will tend to become 0, and the hypotenuse will be equal to adjacent side. So cos 0 will be equal to 1 and sine 0 will be equal to 0. Okay. From that, we can try to find all other angles. Now tell me what is secant 0 is equal to? Yeah, 1. That is 1 by cos 0. So secant 0 is equal to 1. What about cot? Cot 0? It is not defined. Correct. It is 1 by tan of 0. So cot of 0 degree is equal to not defined. It is not defined because 1 by 0 is infinity. So here it is actually not defined. Okay. Then now we will try to find for 90 degree. Okay. So if I consider one triangle here, this is angle B is 90 degree. This I will take it as angle A and this is C. So with respect to A, I am trying to find. Okay. With respect to A, I am trying to find. Now, how to increase that A value now? How to increase A value? See, if I make this as like this, now this angle will be more, correct? If I increase still the slope, what happens here? The angle or angle A will keeps on increasing. See, now this angle will be more, correct? When I compare to this angle is more. That is, if you increase the slope here, the angle A will keeps on increasing. Now, I want to make angle A equal to 90 degree. Now, I want to make angle A is equal to 90 degree. So, how I can make? If I try to push this side, okay, if I try to increase the slope, then it will tend to become 90 degree like this. See? Now this angle will increase here still more. Okay. So this is B, C and A. So when AB, if I reduce AB, keep on reducing the AB, angle A will tends to 90 degree. Okay. So actually when angle A becomes 90 degree, what happens? BC will be equal to AC. When BC is equal to AC, angle A tends to 90 degree. Okay, when BC is equal to AC, angle A tends to 90 degree. So with respect to A, BC is the opposite side, AB is the adjacent side. and AC is the hypotenuse. Now we will consider sine of 90 degree. We know sine of any angle is equal to opposite side by hypotenuse. So here opposite side is BC and hypotenuse is AC. As angle A tends to become 90 degree, BC will become equal to AC. So sine 90 degree will be equal to 1. Sine 90 degree will be equal to 1. Okay. Now, if you consider cos of 90 degree, we know cos of any angle will be equal to adjacent side. Okay. It is equal to adjacent side by hypotenuse. Now, as angle A tends to become 90 degree, this AB length will keeps on increasing. Actually, when angle A becomes 90 degree, AB will become 0. That is the adjacent side. So, cos 90 will be equal to AB by AC, and AB tends to 0 when angle A tends to become 90 degree. So cos 90 degree will be equal to 0. Okay, cos 90 will be equal to 0 now. What about tan 90 degree? Tan is what? Sine by cos. So, sine by cos. So, it will be 1 by 0. It is infinity. So, that is not defined. Tan 90 degree, it is not defined. It is not defined. We don't write it as infinity. We write it as not defined. All these values you have to by heart. Okay. Ratios and these values, everything. Done. Now, cosecant of 90 degree. What is cosecant? It is reciprocal of sine. So, what will be cosecant 90 degree? 1. It will be equal to 1. Then comes the secant 90 degree. Secant theta is equal to reciprocal of cos. Correct? So, what will be that? It is not defined. Because cos 90 is 0. So, it is not defined. Then comes the cot of 90 degree. What is cot? It is actually the reciprocal of tan, or you can also write it as cos by sine. Okay. It will be cos by sine. How tan is sine by cos, right? It is the reciprocal. It will be cos by sine. Okay. What is cos 90 degree equal to? 0. Sine 90 degree is 1. So, cot 90 degree will be equal to 0. Okay, it will be equal to 0. So, these are the standard values which we try to by heart the things. Okay, so why they are the standard values? Because even though if you take any triangle, it is a very big triangle or the small triangle, what is the angle? Okay, if you consider, so the sides are divided in that equal proportion. That is why the ratios, whatever we are getting, that will be the same only. Any triangle you consider, if you have 60 degree, with respect to that, if you take sine, so it will be root 3 by 2 only. Okay, the values will never change. Actually, it will be the same itself. That is the reason they are called as the standard values. Okay. These standard values will help actually lot when you are doing the calculations. This, it is not helpful for supermarket, even we know, but whenever you are doing for the higher calculations, mathematical modeling you are doing anything, so it is important. Trigonometry is very much important actually. Okay, even when they are constructing the building also, they will see, right, the walls are at 90 degree with the ground, right? So, directly or indirectly, we are using it in many ways. Okay. Now, write that in a table, everything. It's there in the book. Write down, start writing all that values. We'll take angle A. So for 0 degree, then comes the 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree, and 90 degree. Then you have cos A, tan A, cosecant A, secant A, sin cos tan, cosecant, secant, and cotangent. So sin 0 will be equal to 0. Then sin 30 will be equal to 1 by 2. Sin 45 is equal to 1 by root 2. Sin 60 root 3 by 2. Sin 90 is 1. Okay. Then cos 0 is what? 1. Cos 30, it is root 3 by 2. Cos 45, 1 by root 2. Cos 60, it is 1 by 2. And cos 90 will be 0. Okay. Tan 0 is 0. Tan 30 degree, it is 1 by root 3. Tan 45 is 1. Tan 60 is root 3. Tan 90, it is not defined. Okay. Then cosecant 0, it is not defined. Cosecant 30, it is 2. Cosecant 45, it's root 2. Cosecant 60, 2 by root 3. And cosecant 90, it is 1. So cosecant will be reciprocal of sine. Then comes the secant. Secant 0, it is 1. Secant 30 degree, it is 2 by root 3. Secant 45, it's root 2. Secant 60 degree. Okay. Secant 60 degree, it is 2. Then secant 90 degree, not defined. What about cot? Cot 0, it is not defined. Cot 30 degree, it is root 3. Cot 45, 1. Cot 60, it is 1 by root 3. And cot 90, it is. Okay, this you have to by heart. That is, first, what are the ratios? Okay, then the definitions. Then tan theta is sine by cos. Cot is what? Cos by sine. Then these standard values, all this compulsory, you have to by heart. Okay. Then you can write it as standard values. Okay, standard values of trigonometric ratios. Trigonometric ratios. Metric ratios. If you observe here, see in the table, first thing what we have done, from 0 degree we have started to 90 degrees. 0, 30, 45, 60, 90. Okay. If you observe the sign of that values, sign value keeps on increasing from 0 to 1. It is increasing from 0 to 1 actually. First 0, it's 0.5. 1 by root 2 is more than 0.5. Okay. Even root 3 by 2 will be more than this, then 1. So sign value, it is an increasing function of, okay, it is actually an increasing function. The values will keeps on increasing here. And when you consider cos, the value keeps on decreasing. So first it is 1, then it is root 3 by 2, then 1 by root 2, then it reduces to 1 by 2, then 0. And if you observe the reverse order, if you write, sign reverse order, if you write, that is cos. Okay, sine, reverse order you write, that will be the cos. How I remember is, see, sine 0 is 0, cos sine 90 is 1. Whereas cos 0 is 1, cos 90 is 0. Okay. And sine 45, cos 45, it is the same value. And if you observe, sine 30 value will be equal to cos 60 value. And cos 60 value, sine 60 value will be equal to cos 30 value. If you observe. Okay, it will come like that. Then what about the tan? Tan is sine by cos. If you take it also, you will get. And also it's easy to remember. See, tan 30 degree, it is 1 by root 3. Tan 60, it is the reciprocal of that. It is the root 3. And tan 45 is 1. Okay, it is easy to remember. Like that, you can keep your own logic and try to remember. Okay. And cot will be always the reciprocal of tan. Usually, how I remember tan value, I will remember tan 30, tan 60, and tan 45, cot 45, both are equal to 1. So, if I remember tan 30, 1 by root 3. Every time I think of cot, I'll just, okay, it is the reciprocal, and I just keep in the mind. Okay, somehow you can try to remember this table. Doubt problem we will do. Write down this question. Example 5. Mark it as important. Okay, many times these questions they will ask. Write down this. Write down the question also. In triangle OPQ, right angle at P, OP is equal to 7 centimeter. Write down this. OQ minus PQ is equal to 1 centimeter. Determine the value of sine Q and cos Q. Okay. So right angled at P. OPQ right angled at P. Angle P is equal to 90 degrees. Okay. And we have this is O and this is Q. Now they have given OP is equal to 7 centimeter. Okay. OP is equal to 7 centimeter. And they've given OQ minus PQ. OQ minus PQ is equal to 1 centimeter. So let us keep PQ is equal to, let PQ is equal to X, because we don't know both now, right? So we will keep the PQ as X. So OQ minus X is equal to 1, or OQ will be equal to 1 plus X now. Okay. Now here we have to find sine Q and cos Q. We have to find sine Q and the cos Q. So that means what? We need all the sides of the triangle, then we can find it. So one side OQ is what? 1 plus X. And PQ is X. Now apply the Pythagoras theorem. OQ square will be equal to OP square plus PQ square. So OQ is what? 1 plus X square. 1 plus X. Okay. So OQ square will be 1 plus X whole square. That is equal to OP square, that is 7 square, plus PQ will be equal to X. Now try to simplify, find the X value, then you can substitute. See, this is not like 1 square plus X square. This is 1 plus X whole square. It is like A plus B whole square. Okay, it is like A plus B whole square. So it is equal to 1 square plus X square plus 2AB. That is 2 into 1 into X. So that is equal to 7 square is 49. 49 plus X square. Okay. Now 1 square plus X square plus 2X. And this X square I will shift to the other side. So this is equal to 49. I can cancel that. 1 square is 1 plus 2X is equal to 49. Or 2X is equal to 49 minus 1. 2X is 48. So x will be equal to 24. So x is equal to 24. So what is x? We have taken PQ. So PQ is equal to 24. Okay. And OQ is the hypotenuse, that is equal to 1 plus x. So it is 25. So this is 25. This is 24. Now sine Q. So sine Q is what? With respect to Q, opposite side is OP. So that is 7. By hypotenuse, it is 20. And cos Q, with respect to Q, if you consider, adjacent side is PQ, that is 24. By hypotenuse, it is 20. Now you have to calculate. Okay. Understood, right? So mark this as important problem. This type they ask many times. First question, evaluate. This also actually easy questions only. This will, if it comes, it is very easy questions, and it comes for max 2 marks. Okay. So sine 60 degree into cos 30 degree plus sine 30 degree into cos 60 degree. Okay. Substitute the values. What is sine 60 equal to? Root 3. Correct. Root 3 by 2. What is cos 30? Root 3 by 2. Okay. Then sine 30, 1 by 2. Then cos 60, 1 by 2. Substitute the values and simplify. Root 3 into root 3 is what? 3. 2 into 2, 4. Plus 2 into 2 is 4 here. So 1 by 4. This is equal to 3 plus 1 by 4. It is equal to 1. Okay. You people try the second one now. 2 tan square 45 degree plus cos square 30 degree minus sine square 60 degree. Try this. Second one, so 2 into tan 45 is 1 square plus cos 30 is root 3 by 2 whole square minus sine 60 is root 3 by 2 whole square. So these two I can cancel, I'll get it as 2. Okay. Third one, cos 45 by secant 30 plus cosecant 30. Okay. What is cos 45 equal to? 1 by root 2. Secant 30, reciprocal of cos. 2 by root 3. Plus cosecant 30, 2. This I can write like this. Okay. So this is the numerator part. This is the denominator part. Now here is we have to add 2 fractions. So separately you do this portion. Okay. What you will get? I'll keep the numerator as it is. In the denominator, 1 by root 3 and 1 is there. I'm trying to simplify only this part. Okay. Root 3 and 1. LCM will be root 3 here. Right? So LCM by denominator, what you will get? Root 3 by root 3 is 1. 1 into 2 is 2. Plus root 3 by 1, what you will get? Root 3. Root 3 into 2, it is 2 root 3. Okay. So this is the denominator, correct? This is the denominator portion. When it goes up, it becomes the reciprocal. So 1 by root 2 into root 3 by 2 plus 2 root. Okay. So this is equal to root 3 by root 2 into this whole thing. This is root 3 divided by 2 root 2 plus 2 root 2 into root 3. Okay. So this is root 3 by 2 root 2 plus 2 root 6. This is the answer. Has he simplified more? He has simplified a little bit more here. So if you want, you can rationalize here. Okay, we can rationalize. So what we can do, root 2 plus root 6 is there, right? Wait, see, this much you can leave it. Okay, or if you want to rationalize root 3, 2, yeah, 2 you keep it separately, you will get root 2 plus root 6, correct? So we will always try to rationalize the denominator. So whenever you want to rationalize, what we have to do is here what we have, think it is like a plus b, right? You have to multiply and divide by a minus b. Always like that. Okay, that means I have to multiply with root 2 minus root 6. Divide by root 2 minus root 6. Okay, what is it? 2 we will keep it separately. Then we will multiply. Anyway, we will multiply. But while rationalizing, no need. That's it. Okay. So what we will get here? Root 3 into this whole thing. Okay. So we will get root 3 into root 2 minus root 3 into root 6 by 2 into, this is like a plus b into a minus b. It is equal to a square minus b square. That is root 2 whole square minus root 6 whole square. Right, then I'll explain again. Four. Okay, listen here once. So first what we did, this was the numerator. This is the denominator which I have to simplify. So I took the LCM here. Then LCM by denominator, I got 1. 1 I will multiply with the numerator. Similarly here, LCM by denominator, I will get root 3. Root 3 I will multiply with 2. So I will get 2 root 3. Okay. So this is the denominator portion. When it goes up, it becomes the reciprocal. So it will be root 3 by 2 plus root 3. So what I will get, 1 into root 3 is root 3 divided by root 2 into this whole term. You should not multiply only one term. You have to multiply for both the terms. Okay. So root 2 into 2 plus 2 root 3 is there. Now root 3 divided by 2 into root 2 plus 2 into root 2 into root 3. That root 2 into root 3 will be what? 2 into 3, 6. So you will get 2 root 6. Okay. Now this I have to rationalize. Whenever I want to rationalize, see, we will try to rationalize always the denominator. Rationalize means we are trying to remove the root. That is the actual thing, what we are trying to do. So what I will do, first I'll take 2 common. I'll get root 2 plus root 6. This root I want to remove. So what you have to do is, here like root 2 plus root 6 is there. I have to multiply and divide by root 2 minus root 6. So that I will get in the denominator a square minus b square. Okay. So I will multiply by root 2 minus root 6, divide by root 2 minus root 6. Now root 3 into this whole thing. That is root 3 into root 2 here minus root 3 into root 6 divided by 2 into, this is like a plus b into a minus b, that is a square minus b square. Okay, so root 2 square minus root 6 square. Square and root I can cancel here also. And now in the next step, root 3 into root 2 is root 6 minus, here root 6 is there. Root 6 I can write it as root 3 into root 2. See, this portion what I have done, root 6, I can write it as root 3 into root 2, right? So root 3 into root 3 is 3 into this root 2 I have written. Okay, understood? This term, what I have done, root 3 into root 3 into root 2. I have split root 6 like this. Root 3 into root 3 is 3 into root 2 I have written. Okay, so root 3 into root 2 is root 6 minus 3 root 2 divided by 2 into 2 minus 6. That is minus 4 you will get here. Okay. So in the denominator, 2 into 4 is 8. So minus 8. In the numerator, it is root 6 minus 3 root 2. Now this minus I have taken to the numerator like this. Okay. So minus of this. So what I will get? Minus into minus plus 3 root 2 minus root 6 by 8. And if you observe now, the root we have removed in the denominator. That only we call it as rationalizing. If you, in exam, if you don't have time, you can stop here. By chance, you are in a hurry, then you can stop here. Okay. Actually, these two are the same thing, same value. If you observe, we have just rationalized the value. Okay. Understood, right? Nowadays, that is also it's become like that. Because no, earlier they used to give first steps. From last year, that problem I'm seeing. Who have written fully correct, they are getting very good marks. But one silly mistake where they are doing, they are not giving marks for the steps. So now you have to make it very perfect. Then only you will get more than 90. Observe that. Because many people would have thought, no, you by seeing only will be observing, will know who will get more than 80, 90, that observation. Who have done very correct, very much correct, then they have got full marks. But one small silly mistake also, they are not giving the marks. So now the last answer should be also correct. By chance, if you are not able to do this portion, leave it here. Okay. See, when you will remove that, silly mistakes will not happen means mainly when you practice more, will not do any silly mistakes. Understanding would have done, but practice more so that you will not do silly mistakes. Okay. Okay. Try the next one now, fourth one. Sin 30 plus tan 45 minus cosecant 60 divided by secant 30 plus cos 60 plus cot 45. Try this. Got that? Maybe they would have rationalized it. So what is the answer you are getting here? E minus plus by 4 plus 8. Everyone getting the same thing. If you rationalize, you will get the difference. Okay. Okay. Tomorrow we'll continue. Here we will end the today's class. Do not forget to subscribe the channel. If the content of this channel is useful, please like the video and share with your friends. Thank you.